Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do Day of Vengeance, 2 months into Until Infinite Crisis, number 5 from DC Comics by Willingham Giustiano and Wong, with the beautiful cover. Well, a cover. It's not the best cover, but from Walt Simonson. Let's dive in. So, previous Spectre was almost beaten, and now in female Eclipso is now floating in space, recuperating, gathering their thoughts, and also trying to get their powers back, and being safe for a while before they attack again. And then we go to the Oblivion Bar. Well, Ragman is a very, very happy man. He is basically very happy and still bragging about that he on that day the team almost beat the Spectre, and he's very happy with that. He says, we did the impossible. We did it. A bunch of second raters and also Rands. We faced down Eclipso and the Spectre and owned them. And he still cannot wrap his head around it. But then but the rest of them are not so particularly happy, because they are still beaten up, especially Enchantress. And Jim, who was the owner of the bar, says, hey, we're going to do it again. We're going to regroup. We're going to tell everybody to be ready again. And then we're going to do the trick that Enchantress was doing before, because Enchantress did power up Captain Marvel here. But Enchantress says, well, this was just the one trick. I cannot do it again. Especially now that Spectre is aware of it, because if we're going to do it again, instead of, battling Captain Marvel, they're gonna write for the team, throttling the energy stream that Enchantress shoots towards Captain Marvel. So that's a no-go. But Detective Chimp said, well, we don't need it. We have a better plan. We have Black Alice now here. And Enchantress says, what can she do that we can't? I detect absolutely no magic powers in hers. And then Detective Chimps is explaining. But before we go into that a little bit more, we see Nightshade, who is a little bit, talking to Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel is not a customer, and he says, this is the first time I've been in a bar before. Well, that's true, because basically underneath the Superman-like exterior, he is Billy Batson, and Billy Batson is a underage kid, so he doesn't come into bars. So that was a little bit, funny for those who don't know. But then also, Nightshade still talks about that she's being, felt like a second stringer in the team, that she is only there for teleportation because that's what she can do. But she says also, she says, basically I have the power to control darkness, which shouldn't be possible since darkness doesn't actually exist. And because... and then she says, but she can, when she summons it, she can move it around and make it substantial, like it's real. I like that tidbit, because normally we don't go into certain powers of people. We know they can do it, but how they can do it or where they come from, a little bit of a science there. It's not really explained, nor does it have to be. But I think it's nice to see that people actually think, hey, I control darkness. Darkness is nothing. It's not tangible. It's just there because of the absence of light. And then, but I still can control it and make it tangible, which is really cool, I think, that they touch about that subject. So Captain Marvel is going back to the Rock of Eternity, and then we see the Wizard all powering up, preparing himself for battle. And Shazam is telling the Wizard that he found a team that he can work with, and that the team is called Shadowpact, and they have a new plan for battling Spectre. But the Wizard is not very confident they can do the job, because it seems that they failed before, and Captain Marvel didn't get that, because he said they just formed. How do you mean before? Well, it seems that Shadowpact team, well, probably not this team, but the name, it's been around for a very, very, very long time. And if the world is in danger, a group of, magical beings come together and form the Shadowpact. I didn't know that, but that's nice to hear. So they're preparing also for a Spectre. And then skipping a few pages here, We see Spectre all, getting, how do you say? Well, he has sex with the Eclipso for reasons. So they're having a nice dinner, and they talk about the plan. And the art looks still nice. I can't get over it. It's just too good. And we see here Eclipso, he's ready now. But then they explain, or Detective Chimps explains what Black Alice can do. Black Alice can basically copy other superheroes or supervillains' powers and draining them, so they cannot use that for about 30 minutes or something. So she's not absorbing them, but lending them. Not sure what the difference is, but hey, it is what it is. Also, she takes on the appearance, but then as her own goth way, offset superhero, supervillain, which I think is very cool. So basically she's very, very powerful. Let me see if I can skip a few pages more. Let's see. What's this? So basically, she says that if I drain or copy the power or lend the powers of the Spectre, he will be vulnerable, and then we can kill him. I mean, that's what the other says. It takes probably a couple of seconds to kill someone who has no powers anymore. And Ragman says, well, are we going to do it? Are we really going to kill the Spectre? And Blue Devil says, well, I got no problem with that. He's a mass murderer many times over, and killing him is the only way to ensure he never gets his powers back. And basically, they all agree. And I agree too. I mean, at this point, Spectre is completely unhinged. And going back a little bit to the part that before Spectre and Eclipse have sex, he explained that when he wiped out all of magic in the world, and he says, I'm mostly a magical being, I'm not needed anymore. And he can go, I don't know, to hell, to heaven, to oblivion, he's fading away. And because Eclipso, convinced him that the root of all evil is magic. And, Spectre is really gullible. Let's say that. But maybe it's because he just lost his human host that he is more searching for a purpose, if you will. Not sure. Anyway, the cool thing is about it, so they are outside in, I believe, Indonesia. Let me double check before I said something. So here's the island. Yes, Indonesia. And I love it that they actually been there for a very long time. And normally it's, like in the US or something like that. But they are actually staying for a very long time in Indonesia. I mean, it's where it all began. And there's an island, some magic island that is pretty undetected, I believe. And they're spreading rumors around that there is some kind of, some kind of a vault that holds up, like a more of a buried armor of terrible magic weapons survive Spectre's latest attack. And they're going to get it to battle the Spectre. So Spectre gets a hold of that, and then Spectre and Eclipso appears, basically setting the trap up. And then it's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. And also, I have to mention that it seems that Nightshade and Enchantress were very close together, and Black Alice says, oh, you were a couple? No. She says, yuck. It seems that they are magically joined into one body at some point. So, and they say, well, are you still friends? Well, at one time, yes, but when you have lived into another person's body, you also discover their dirty, dirty secrets, and that, breaks up, even the biggest friendships. So, yeah, they're not friends anymore. That's too bad. But we'll see what happens that in the series. I got the Shadowpact series, by the way, so maybe it's getting a little bit explored about in that comic that I'm gonna read later, but not for now, because we have after this only one issue to go. So Spectre comes, and then finally we see Black Alice really get into action, and she wants to prove herself that she can, she's a valuable member of the Shadowpact, and then she's powering up, and then, man, look at this, man, she just uses, this looks spectacular. Not only that, I'm going to show you the next issue soon, but Spectre finally realizes that it's a trap. But yeah, it's too late for that. And then, oh man, look at this. I mean, Black Alice, I didn't know she was that powerful, and she can, I don't know, summon or creating black monsters from shadows, something like that. I mean, she's kicking ass and looks really good. But it's only temporary because Spectres were basically way too strong for her. And then the rest of the Shadowpact is battling Eclipso. But then Black Alice is ready, soaking up the powers of Spectre, and he's very surprised to see what's happening, and that's before he can kill Nightshade. And again, as you can see, she, loans Spectre's powers, but that she adds her own visual flair for that. I mean, she still look gothic looking, but then with the Spectre outfit, it's I like that. Instead of him being an exact copy, but then female. I like that. But so she attacks Spectre, but then, this happens. Her power doesn't affect Spectre at all because it seems that without my powers, says Spectre, nothing's left but an empty spirit. And then he says, so what are you going to do? You cannot hurt me, you cannot dismember me, you cannot kill me. And then Black Alice says, I don't know. And that brings us to the end of the book. So yeah, I've got a page here. I'm not going to show it. So their plan is going to backfire very hard. So yeah, they can do shit. Although the plan is solid, but they didn't count on that, particular flaw. Great stuff. One issue to go, guys. Stick around. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Give me a like. See you next time.